Hello everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to the My Player Career Mode. As always, I hope you are doing well. 5 games of action coming for you today to enjoy, including a Manchester derby as our first live game of the day, before we travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea to end the day. But before we go any further, once again, thank you for the incredible support shown on the previous videos. The like target improved and you lot still smashed it. So there will be another like target on this video in order to secure yourself an episode tomorrow. So as we jump into the first game of the day, we took on Southampton at Old Trafford. And this game was a game in hand. And if we could win it, we would go top of the Premier League. So it was imperative that we got the job done here because we can't afford to slip up, especially when there's the top spot at stake. And looking at the Southampton team, there was nothing really to worry about in it. I didn't feel like it was a phenomenal side by any means. It's a team we should beat and just get the job done more than anything. It's a 5 at the back as well, so I didn't expect them to really come out and attack at us. It was more just try and break them down pretty much. But we didn't have to wait long for the first goal of the game. We exchanged passes on the edge of the penalty area, take the shot on nice and early. And I think that's what caught the Southampton goalkeeper off guard slightly. I mean, you can see here, it's not completely in the corner. And the dive wasn't the best dive in the world from their number one. But yeah, it was probably the bit of just hitting it nice early, which caught him off guard, and that allowed us to score the opening goal of the game. And it took us right until the second half before there was anything else worthy of really showing you, because after that we took our foot off the pace a little bit, and we were made to pay for that, because after what I can only describe as a calamity, Southampton got a goal back. De Gea came out to try and stop them from having the shot. It sort of like ricocheted off him, and Kramaric had like the freest job in the world of heading home. So yeah, Southampton won, Manchester United won. There wasn't a lot going on in the game, and I fully thought we were going to head to just the draw here, especially when this chance goes begging. Martial gets the pass across. It takes a deflection. Munir should have scored without a shadow of a doubt. So a minute to play until full time. The change was made. Munir went off. Greenwood came on, and it was written. Greenwood's very first touch. As you can see, time ticking away with seconds left in the game. Fired the ball across. I put so much behind it as well. It wasn't an easy finish to make at all. I certainly hit that with pace. But Mason Greenwood, what a player. First touch, comes off the bench, scores the goal. United 2, Southampton 1. We were heading to the 3 points, and that was how the game finished. We were rescued by Mason Greenwood, and we owe it to him, really. So yeah, what a player. If you haven't already checked out my Road to Glory series, we had him in League 1 on my Forest Green Rovers career mode, so a cheeky plug there. If you want to check that out, it's already on the channel. He was great for us there, and I said in that series that he probably should be playing for Man United, and that's only 3 seasons in. So we're now into our, 4th season here? So yeah, there's a case for Greenwood to be starting in this Man United team. Munir has done well, but if he doesn't score for quite some time, get Greenwood in. He's shown he knows where the net is. He's shown he can score goals. So yeah, moving forward, that link-up play for Manchester United and potentially for England as well could be quite something to keep your eyes upon. So following on from that victory, we had Bournemouth again at home. You'd expect us to win this one as well. And once again, we were 1-0 up through our finish. 20 minutes in or so this time, keeping our composure to slot home at the near post. But then this happened, and I describe this as one of my best goals so far in a United shirt. Just before half-time, the one thing that we didn't want to do was allow Bournemouth back into this game like we did with Southampton. And that is what we did in order to secure the second goal. Edge of the penalty area. I decided to get a better look at it from this angle. Look at the curl, the technique as it hits the underside of the crossbar. Nestles home. United 2, Bournemouth 0. Heading to 3 points. But they did actually grab a goal back with Weston McKennie hitting the strike here to deny De Gea the clean sheet, which he didn't get a clean sheet in either of these 2 games. And in fairness, he didn't have a lot to do. So it's kind of disappointing that, because he probably should have had at least 1 of 2. And with the last kick of the game, Martial had a free kick, which he sent wide of the post. It didn't matter though, because back-to-back 2-1 wins were secured. And after that, it was time for the Manchester derby. So for our first live game of the day, it is 2nd versus 3rd. And the winner will go top. The City side plays out on your screen as you saw it there. It is also a side featuring the front 3 of Bernardo Silva, of Gabriel Jesus, and of Raheem Sterling, of course. Bernardo Silva picking up the second, I believe, Player of the Month award on offer in the Premier League, so we know that he is probably the one to watch from City. You can see our side there. No surprises, really, with the team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone for. But live from the Etihad Stadium, then, it is the first Manchester derby that we are a part of. Munir here, quite fortunate to get through. Why has he laid that across? I mean, I'll take it back, because Andreas Pereira has just smashed it into the back of the net. City behind, and it's a bit of a surprise, really. It's come from absolutely nothing. Munir, a 50-50 challenge with their centre-back, came out with possession, and then all of a sudden the goal was there to be taken. Look at that. That's from nothing. It was a simple pass that I played to his feet. I didn't expect it to create anything, and City will be kicking themselves at the fact that that's actually worked. To say the very least, this wasn't the start that I had in mind, and I'm certain it wasn't the start that City had in mind for the game here. So let's see what the response is from them. João Cancelo for City, finds Jesus, returns it back towards him. They're looking for a chance. That's hit Brandon Williams and gone out for a City corner. Half an hour gone here. Since going in front, it's been City with most of the possession. De Bruyne will take it, sends it into the box. Emre Can wins the first header, but Alderweireld there takes the touch passes. I believe that's offside, ref. It is as well. And De Bruyne, as he has a go at the linesman on this side, can have no complaints. He's in a fantastic position, and as you can clearly see, there's about 3 City players all offside there. So, yeah, he's just one of many. Palaversa, De Bruyne, dispossessed, and we can steal it. But can we break away with it? That's the question. Dan James, wrong-sided, João Cancelo. And now we release him. Left-hand side for Manchester United. James, edge of the penalty area. We look to take it early to try and catch Ederson off guard. But he knew exactly what we were going to do. City not really creating much. They're having a lot of the ball, but you've got to create and you've got to be effective with it. Dan James here will just about squeeze that through. Lovely skill move. There it is across the face of goal. It looks like it might be an own goal. No! Ederson to the rescue again for Manchester City, who are all over the place defensively in this first half. Rodri's ball over the top. Sterling will chase it. There's been changes for both sides here as Sterling's cross to the near post is caught by David De Gea. Jesus didn't even bother to attack it. Martial is on for us, and Draxler is on for City. He replaces Kevin De Bruyne, who honestly we haven't seen a lot of today from Manchester City, hence why he's gone off. Rodri's ball, left-hand side, seeks out Ronnie Lopez. Unbelievable control from him. Lopez finds Draxler, saved by De Gea. Cancelo will find the finish, but again, the offside flag goes up. 6 minutes left here of this game. Rabiot down towards Emre Can. We made the move. The attempt here could be on. Is it? Oh, it's horrible. It's ended up going in. It will be an own goal to Louis Indama. Is that how you say it? I don't actually know. Lou Indama. I'm not even sure if I've got that right. But he was the player which Munir won the 50-50 for in order to find the first goal of the game. And then here, I mean, I don't know if this finishes. It's not even going in. My shot wasn't even on target. But it was one of those scenarios where he either has to try and defend that or hope that Greenwood misses it, because Mason Greenwood was right behind him ready to tap that home. But I actually do assure you that was meant to be a shot, not a pass to Greenwood. It just so happened that I got it completely wrong, that it nearly worked out in that way. But it's 2-0 United. City's day goes from bad to worse here in the Manchester derby. And it's just been one of those days for them. They've not had any slice of luck that they've needed. And when they did have the ball in the net, of course, that was called for offside. And that will be enough. But hang on a second, there might be one more opportunity. Not quite. Full time. Result secured. Another win on the bounce for us as well. And it means we open up a small gap to our Manchester rivals. Our action continues then today with our next game against Wolves. And you might think this would be quite a tough game, but if we take a look at the league table, they currently sit second from bottom on 7 points. I'm not sure what's happened to Wolves. I don't know what's gone on there, whether or not they've lost some of their best players or not, but that's not what you'd expect from a Wolves side of recent times anyway. We're top of the league by a point ahead of Liverpool, and that's only because we've not drawn a game yet. But look at the goal difference stat. We're actually behind both Liverpool and City, so only 8 goals conceded. We're best in the league by 3. City are close there, and they only just conceded 2 in that last game. But goals scored wise, we're not better than any of the top 7, which is quite a worry, to be honest. We're even behind Bournemouth. Bournemouth have scored 33 this season. We are only on 29, and I've got, I think, 10 of those. So yeah, weeks. Interesting. But let's move into game then. And then after this, it's Chelsea to finish off the day. But that one will be another test for us. But this could still be a difficult challenge. Who knows? But at home, I'd like to think we'll get the job done as well. I might only get to play 60 minutes of this because, as you can see, fitness-wise, not quite full. Wolves' starting 11 on your screen. They've got Jimenez up front still. Lucas Moura partners him. Dusan Tadic on the bench. I believe Traore is on the bench as well. Bailey Peacock Farrell in goal is an interesting one. So, yeah, it's not a formidable Wolves side by any means. But it's one we still have to respect, because we do still have to give them that level of respect. You know, it's not going to be just a simple job of us getting a result here. We're still going to have to perform to our maximum in order to get what we want from the game. And we're underway. I always dislike as well playing against 5 at the backs because sometimes they play really well. Then other times, they just crumble. So we'll see what we get today. As already, it looks like there's a chance in the making. Munir already through. Take it all back. 2 minutes in, and we find the goal already in the game. Said it was going to be difficult. Maybe not. And they do now look like a side second from bottom. Especially the way they started. James McTominay. Good pass through. I've got all the time in the world to pick the spot. And I miss it. Offside. You want to rescue me? Because I don't know how else I'm going to look at that without embarrassment. What was that? Pereira with a fantastic ball to Vinagre, and he can turn, get his shot away, near post. Half an hour gone. The first Wolves opportunity arrives, and they can't quite take it. 1-2 with McTominay as we shift the ball around, looking for a way through, which we now get. The cross towards the back post. Unmarked is Dan James. And how he hasn't scored, I don't know, as now Munir will eventually put the ball in, but that was awful from United. Dan James, free header, hits the crossbar, then Pereira tries to volley it home. He completely misses the ball, falls over, and eventually it falls to Munir, who makes no mistake with the finish. But yeah, here, I just, Pereira, mate, get contact with the ball. You could argue maybe there's a foul in there, but I don't think there is. I think he just completely misses it, and then, of course, it just bounces for Munir, who has his second of the game. You could say an indirect assist from us. We don't get assist credit for it, but we did play a part with our delivery for Dan James's header. And I think as well, as we kick back off, now's the time to request the sub just to make sure we're good to go for the Chelsea game. Munir, Emre Can, Munir again, Emre Can again, gets the shot away. It's 3 for Manchester United. And arguably, any one of us could have probably got that chance. The movement off the ball there was quality. Quick 1-2s, one-touch passing. I had to jump over the ball in the end because the run I made was the same position that Emre Can wanted to shoot. So, yeah, getting out of the way of that was important. And that is our last contribution as well to the game. As 2 changes for United come through. Mason Greenwood on for Munir. And I think it'll be Fornals on for us. And with 19 minutes to play, the job is done here. There might be an opportunity for one more. Actually, it looks like it's not been Pablo Fornals. It's Jesse Lingard who's come on. Yeah, I'm not sure we've seen much of Lingard in recent times here at United since we've joined the club. But he's on for a 19-minute cameo. And we'll see what he can do. Imagine if he scores now. Hang on a second. Lucas Moura's in. Oh, hold on. Because Wolves out of nowhere have decided to play football. They've got a goal back. It's 3-1. There's no chance of them getting the game back. But David De Gea's clean sheet's now gone. He will not get given one from the game. As Lucas Moura celebrates, Wolves have something to shout about, but it must be just a consolation. It can't be much more than that, surely. Incredible run this by Pereira. He's in, and he sends the delivery back post. Adama Traore, what a save by De Gea. And there is Raul Jimenez. It is Manchester United 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. No, this isn't happening, right? It's not going to happen. 89th minute of the game, and the lead is down to 1. How much injury time? 2 minutes additional time added on. Adama Traore will win the pass there from Brandon Williams. It was a poor ball in all honesty, but Wolves give it straight away, and we will survive a late scare from Wolves in the end. We come away with the points here, but I'll tell you what, we were 3-0 up, and it looked comfortable. 2 goals from Wolves late on made that, for a second, I was a bit worried. But we got the job done in the end. On to Chelsea. As we get to look then at Chelsea's team, there's some really good players in there. Havertz is playing in midfield. They've also got Josh King up front. I know, obviously, Josh King from my Bournemouth save. But there's an interesting choice by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's chosen to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka in midfield. So we've got Ricardo Pereira playing right back still. Emre Can, and there he is. Wan-Bissaka as a central midfielder. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to swap with Rabiot, because if you look at where Rabiot's playing, he's playing out wide on the right. But I just found that quite interesting, to say the very least. Oh, Dan James steals the ball back, finds it in the box, and there's an early goal for United again. We have been starting the live games off brilliantly today. It's unbelievable play down this left-hand side by Dan James. He steals back possession after Chelsea sloppily gave it away, but it was good press. And then has the composure to lay it across, but how about that for a finish? First time on the left foot. Hernandez does what he can to try and block it, but Kepa stood no chance. It was curling away from him. There was a lot of power behind it. And much like the City game earlier on, we start off with a flyer. Joshua King finds the ball back to Sanchez. He sends the cross in. Skriniar heads it away only as far as AWB. But it's so calm and collected by Manchester United as we play our way out. And that, my friends, is our 11th goal of the Premier League season. And right now we are entering sort of the December-January period where Team of the Year shortlists start to get announced as Dan James will find us down the left-hand side. Is there another opportunity here as we look for a near-post cross which didn't quite work out? The defenders shortlist has just been announced, but we await the midfielders one. So we might be on it, especially if we can keep up performances like this. I'm not sure what Havertz has just done there as he gives it straight to Rabiot. Ricardo Pereira again. Look at this. They're just not there as a team. Chelsea as we sell the defender a dream. Oh, what a goal that is. 2-0 Manchester United, and we can celebrate a worthy finish. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? And this is the evidence of the way that we have been playing at United. The enjoyment that we're getting being back in the Premier League. See you later, mate. Sold him a dream before finishing it with expert style into the left top corner. Again, Kepa, you can attempt it, mate, but there's absolutely no way you're making a save on that one. And just to see the turnaround in our performance, now we're getting to play in that central attacking midfield role as opposed to the central midfield role we were playing for Atletico. You can see it, the difference that it's making. Of course, yeah, the difficulty is also playing a part. But just the performance level since we've gone back to our more natural position has been just on the rise. 2-0 United. Chelsea here getting taught a footballing lesson as Nottingham Forest have gone 1-0 in front against Arsenal. It's an interesting scoreline there. Christensen towards Havertz. Fires it up towards Saigankov. A lovely 1-2. Will allow Saigankov the opportunity now then to attack down this left-hand side. Has he got a cut back into the centre? He has, and Joshua King's near post header is kept out by David De Gea, who wants this clean sheet. Not had a lot to do in the game. And that's why it's even more wanted from him, because it would be a bit annoying, wouldn't it, to not have to do much and then still end up conceding. 2 minutes from time, Chelsea being completely outplayed, outclassed here today, it has to be said. We have been phenomenal. And here then is one last attack with Rabiot. Still playing out wide. I tell you what, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has put in a shift today in central midfield. Shout out to him. He might even get man of the match because he's been breaking up attacks, playing the football correctly, and we'll see who does actually come away with man of the match as we get out of this one. And we'll see what the table looks like and all of that good stuff. There's also our Europa League first round knockout opponents to check out before we go today. So let's cover all that. Man of the match actually went to Oz, but Ricardo Pereira, Dan James, both ahead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But he still had a good game, in fairness to him. Playing out of position. He intercepted a fair few passes. You can see dribbles completed. He was the second highest on the team behind me. Passes completed. Might have even been second behind myself on that as well. So, yeah, very, very good performance from him in central midfield. Chelsea, I don't know really what to say about them. They were not good. As City got back to winning ways, beating Wolves 2-0. Of course, our 3-2 win against them, just to make sure of the points. They didn't concede. But we're 19 Premier League games in, halfway done, and we now sit 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. City in second, Liverpool just behind them, only on goal difference. Everton on 45 points. Spurs, Chelsea make up the rest of the top 6. Where are Arsenal? They're down in 11th. Can we please, I know that's where we are IRL, but can we start to do something, boys? Because this isn't good to watch as an Arsenal fan. Wolves now dead bottom of the Premier League. Jeez, they could be in the Championship again. All right, Europa League. Let's see who our opponents are going to be. And while we're here, actually, as well, I'll check out the other leagues. Oh, wow. Inter Milan in the first knockout round, having won our group. They've got to be a Champions League dropout, right? There's no way. There's no way they finished second in a Europa League group. Let me double check that. They have to be a Champions League dropout. So, Group A. Yes, yes, yes. They're not in any of these groups. So, to say we won the group and yet are going to face Inter Milan, I don't know how I feel about that. But that is going to be our draw then for the Europa League. As I mentioned, Team of the Year, the shortlist is beginning to come out. So we'll see if we make it into the shortlist. Defenders have been announced. There is Marquinhos. There is Cancelo. There's also, I can't even remember. There we go. Lenglet, Cancelo, Laporte, and Marquinhos. They're the 4 players. But still, Inter Milan, that's an interesting one. Right, before we go, let's quickly check out the Championship first, because that's where Norwich are playing, and they're in 3rd. I would love them to return to the Premier League. I would love it, because then we get to play them next season if they do. Huddersfield down in 5th, who we knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. How are Atletico faring, though, in the La Liga? As we take a quick look at Serie A. So Inter are 2nd in the Serie A. That's going to be a tough game for us. But quickly then, La Liga. How's it going? Well, there's been no change, pretty much, to how it was when we left. Barca still running away with things. So yeah, absolutely no change to that. But my friends, that is where we end off today. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. A huge thank you for all of the support, as always, on the channel. Probably already said that at the beginning. But same again, if we can hit 350 likes, you will get a guaranteed My Player episode tomorrow to enjoy. So, like target set again. Can we achieve it? You lot have smashed it in every single one that I've given you. Hence why we've made them harder. But that's all you got to get for another episode tomorrow. Until then, have a great day, have a great evening, and I will see you all again soon. Adios.